Good morning, everybody. How are we all doing? Welcome. So, here we are again for some Hex Racer Gamedev. And I have a little list of things to do today. But first things first. Let's just play some of the game. We're going to open up the actual build, not the test build. Then I can... Ooh. What is going on there? Why is there no leaderboards? Interesting. Okay, I can only assume because it's a local build on my PC. And that it's the wrong build ID for Steam. Very strange there. Never noticed that before. I'm logged into Steam, aren't I? Yeah, I'm logged into Steam. But it's not that we haven't got a Steamworks connection. Interesting. Okay. We'll just fly for a little bit. Oh, that's a bit loud. I'm going to play the playtest in a moment, make sure the Steam leaderboard's on there. Fuel refill. Fuel refill. They're triggering my microphone. Speaker down a bit more. Fuel capacity increased. Triggering my microphone. Okay, come down a bit more. Right. Let's see. So if we go to Steam and let's run a test. Because one of my tasks today is to do with Steam. If the Steam connection's down. No, the playtest ones are there. Okay. Okay. So, I've closed the playtest now for sign-ups. You can't sign up to the playtest anymore, but if you already had access, you will keep it. I am going to do one more update. I'm going to put all the new ships into the playtest. And the new UI stuff. Yeah, let's play this one then. Let's see if we can extend our leaderboard. And we'll get on to doing some actual dev work. This is just to compete on the monthly. Let's see if I can extend my lead a little bit more. Good start. while ago, I submitted, I think it was this build, to Steam for review. And they basically returned it with a few errors. We're going to be looking at some of those today. One's revolving around controls. Okay, we're not extending my lead. Okay. First one, I don't know how I'm going to do this. So, some of the things they reported were some of my screenshots have menus in. We need to get rid of those. I want to redo all the screenshots anyway. And I want to make a new trailer. So that solves that one. The other one, this is to do with controller support. So when you open the Steam overlay, the game will continue playing. Now, I don't think I can test this in Unity. I don't believe. Oh. Okay. I thought the Steam overlay only appeared when you had a game running. But that apparently isn't the case. Oh. Okay, so we can test this in Unity, I guess, then. So what I need... I guess I can test this in Unity. This is here. What they're saying is when we do this, the game should pause. The game doesn't. Oh. Game doesn't pause, but you can't control it. Okay. That's not my issue. I might have to build this to test it. Now I've got running background turned off. I need a checkpoint that actually shows me something. Fuel refill. Okay. Me. Oh, no, what am I doing? Grab a Unity window and grabbed something in OBS. That was the alert box. Okay. Over here. So if not, I'm going to need some way to detect the Steam overlay is open. Nope, that doesn't work. We're taking running background off. Doesn't work. Okay. Well, at least we know. Oh, right. So, I guess we're doing a Google search. Steamworks.net detect if Steam overlay. Okay, this is what I want. How to pause the game in Unity when the Steam overlay is called. Okay. So I'm assuming we'll do this in our Steam manager script. Okay, let's move this to my other window. Open. So we have in here, we have a Steam manager, which I think is a script that I got like okay. So in here they say make sure you're using Steamworks. We've got create a callback. Let's make sure there's not one already in here. Control amount. Okay. So I don't see anything in here already. So this is saying we want a protected fallback. Overlay. Oh, okay. Overlay. Okay. Let's start check if Steam Manager is initialized. Yeah, this is already dealing with this. I believe. And make a function that takes the callback. Okay. So then void pause game if overlay. Okay, and then this takes the game overlay active callback. Okay. then they have okay, so this is the function to pause the game. This only tells us how to do it one way. We're going to have to do it the other way as well. To unpause this. So same time scale 0. This is going to be the easiest way, I think. Let's see what happens. Because everything should be multiplied by time.delta time. If we change the timescale, we effectively can't do anything. Although having a pause screen would probably be better. But for now, let's just see if this is detecting. I should have just put a debug log in there, I guess. Yeah, well, it didn't appear to stop the timer going down. This, okay. Maybe this timescale won't work because it's an I enumerator. Right. Debug.log. Pause the game. If it calls this, we see this, then we know we've detected it. We're not getting pause the game. I've missed a step. I missed. Oh, create the callback. Where does this go? Let's create the callback variable. What the fuck? Um, um, oh, you know what? I'm messing around here. I've just realised one of the further comments actually says that Steamworks has it included. So what we can do then is in the player controller, because there will always be a player. In your update, we could simply say here if Steam utils is overlay enabled, So we could check this every update. Say, if the overlay is enabled, pause the game. Which would mean that if we're in the gameplay loop, we should get this message. We shouldn't get this message if we're on the main menu. Because nothing's going to happen on the main menu if the controller is dead. Anyway, because of the overlay, you're not going to be able to press anything. Okay, so we don't get the message there. Should get it here. I'm not getting a Steamwork connection. What's going on here? It's not checking. I was hoping this would be like reasonably simple. Log. Steam overlay open. I just want to make sure this script is running and that is calling something. In this mode. Yeah, it doesn't appear to have a Steamworks connection. I think this Steam Manager is saying that if we're running in Unity. Okay, well, let's try building and see what happens. Although I've only put debug logs in there, so we're not going to see those, are we? There is a way to see some crash logs, actually. Okay. Now the question is, can I remember where they are? I think. So, bear with me 1 minute. I'm looking at something on my other screen. Seeing if I can find these files. I know there's a file that I found before. I can't remember where I found it. Let's see. Maybe I'm looking at the wrong thing. Oh, I can't find what I want. God knows where it is. But this doesn't appear to be working. It's not detecting that the Steam overlay is open. Player controller. So in this update, we're doing this check. Right, okay. In endless mode. Canvas. Text Mesh Pro. Let's anchor you to the middle on this side. Okay, right. Then on the player controller, we will remove this again in a moment. Debug text. Okay, and then in this update, if this is true, then debug text. Overlay open. House. Overlay closed. Unity. Player controller. Debug text. Right. Save. See what happens in Unity. Overlay closed. It remains saying closed. Even when I open. Still don't run. See what happens here. If this stays closed, then that utils function isn't working. Overlay open. Interesting. No difference whether you have the overlay open or not, it's always saying it's open. What? Oh, hang on. Hang on. Is there a... Is... Overlay enabled is the only one. That's not what I want. That's simply saying it's enabled to be able to be opened, not that it's open. Oh, that's irritating. Okay. Yeah, it's been pointed out further down that that's not how it works. Okay. This should be much easier than I'm imagining. I suppose what I could do, seeing as that isn't doing what we get rid of this now. Delete it from the endless scene. We could simply make it in here. Toggle Steam overlay. If we press gamepad, seriously, there's not a gamepad home. Oh, maybe there is. Right, so if you do this one, or how do you toggle? How do you toggle the Steam overlay on keyboard? Because I'm going to need that one as well. Toggle Steam overlay. Shift and tab. In any game where it's supported and enabled. Okay. So in that case, then we add another binding. Is I do a combination. Oh, that's interesting. This isn't going to work. I can do it for the gamepad. But it seems you can only put a single key in the binding. Which isn't going to work. I believe the Steamworks doesn't have something to detect it's open. I don't remember this being an issue in Wormhole Adventure. I guess it was less of a problem in Wormhole Adventure being turn-based. Can't see the chat, so bear with me. Outside of only having two screens. I want to have a look. I can't show this because I'm looking at Steamworks backend, and that I'm not allowed to show. Just trying to see if they pointed me to anything. It did point me to a website. See if there's any useful information on here. Getting started for developer. Now, what is this for? Steam input. Steam input is designed to allow you to easily enable full support for Steam input devices in your game. I think this is mainly aimed at Steam Deck. My controls are handled in game, not via Steam. But anyway, let's see if there's anything in here about the overlay. I can see. So um I can't see anything on that link that tells me about detecting the screen being open. Which is ultimately what I want to do. I don't think creating this Steam control. Morpheus, welcome. How are you doing? Non-controller controls for accelerating on keyboard. So, yes. There is total controller support. So on the keyboard, you're using WASD to rotate the ship. E and L is accelerate and brake. Space is the nitro. It's the current configuration. The problem I've got at the moment is I put the game for review by Steam, and it was an old build, so it failed. No shock. But it's pointed me to some things I need to look at. There is a control screen. It's in the settings. So if you go to settings and then go over to controls, it'll tell you. No, you're not done. And I hope you feel better soon. But yeah, the problem we've got is you can be racing and then turn on Steam Overlay and the game will continue playing, and that they're wanting it to pause. But I can't find some easy way to detect when that overlay has been opened. Doesn't seem to be part of the API, which is crazy. So what I originally wanted to do was in the update, simply say Steam Utils is overlay enabled. I thought this was the one, and it's not. This just says it's enabled. Your speed went to 0. Yeah, that was the drag. Once you let go of the accelerator, you will gradually slow down. So the game was still running. But yeah, it seems there's no API call relating to the overlay being open. So I'm just trying to work out the best way to get around this. My other thought was the input system. Got a key binding in here. GI. Which I can do for the controller. But to open the Steam overlay on keyboard, you press Shift and Tab. And unless I'm being dumb, toggle Steam overlay. In here, I can do okay, I guess I want this one. But then for the keyboard, you can only select a single key. Yeah, in here, I can do like left shift, but I can't do game overlay. So this option isn't working. Okay, I can't see the chat. Bear with me. Right. Okay. Game overlay activated T. So how do I check that? Because what I'm ultimately wanting is here, in the player controller, because this is where we're flying a ship, is to do the check. But that one's looking like posted when the Steam overlay activates or deactivates. One is if it has just been. Using SteamWorks.net. Yes. Okay, it looks like we're having a learning day today. Okay, so we need to create a. I can't read this and see. I guess I can do this. That'll work. I can still see the chat. Need my third monitor back. Only on 2. The Steam callback section. Okay. Oh, it turns out they're doing the game overlay one in the callback demonstration as well. Sweet. Right. So if we go to my Steam manager, So So if this is not disabled, so it's in here that we want this, I believe. So there's the callback. You then create a callback by calling callback.create. Oh, these stupid lights. Certain times of the day, they just do it. Yeah, it's around 11 o'clock. It does it at 7 p.m. as well. I don't know why. They just turn off. Got a mind of their own. Okay. So then in the on enable, okay. Is there an on enable in here? Yes. I think this needs to be in here. If Steam Manager initialized, then do this. Okay. Last piece of the puzzle is on the on-game overlay activated function. I'm going to copy paste that because that would be here. And that's it. Let's see then. I guess this might not work in Unity because of the... Yeah, I'm not getting the debug logs. They say, and that's it at the end. Okay, let's make sure I didn't miss anything. So in the Steam Manager script, we had our callback. And is that not this one? Visual on enable. Hang on. Is because this is a virtual one? Is that what the problem is? I have to do this on one of my other... Because this was a script that was downloaded off the internet for setting up the basic manager. I just assumed I could go into here, but... Yeah, then in here I did the Steam Manager initialized. But I'm wondering if because this is protected virtual that it's not what I need. Everything else is the same. As far as I can tell. Yeah, it looks like these debugs never came out. I can't type today. Okay, so it did do that bit. Was initialized and came into here. We got this debug. Did I miss a step? Just debug Steam Manager.initial. It's true, then you know at least it's subscribed to. Is that effectively what I just did here? Yep. So this was true. I've set everything up. So because this should work in any scene. Oh, hang on. That's not the Steam overlay, is it? That's the Xbox one. Ah. Now I have a problem because the Xbox One also stops the controller working. Okay. That's the screenshot one. Button. Yeah, it seems I can't trigger the Steam overlay while in Unity, which is great because they put debug logs to check it's working, and you can't actually. Shift tab is Steam. Yeah, in the So in the information, it says when opening the Steam overlay by pressing the home button on the controller, the game does not pause and continues. Is the report they gave me. So I guess it's on this controller. Which one is the home key? Let's run test build. If we can get. They specifically did the controller, not the keyboard controls. What am I doing? Builds test. So that's bringing up the Xbox. Yeah, it seems like the Xbox one is overriding any Steam controls. That's interesting. Yeah, it could be that I've run the. That's a good call. Let's try the playtest version from Steam. Still brings up the Xbox One. No buttons on my controller will bring up the Steam overlay. Oh, that's going to be fun to. Steam overlay is showing up there. You got the little pop-up. Yeah, so that's the Steam overlay. That's doing it with the keyboard. They've reported issues with doing it on the controller, and I can't test it with my controller. No button on my controller is bringing up the Steam overlay. Okay. Start your pausing and call it a day. Yeah, I think so. Let's see. What's this one? Oh. Restart Steam. Run a build of your game from the Steam library. I chose Steam. Okay. Interesting. See if I stop this though, it'll close Unity. So yeah. Right, let's go do some Unity tests. I do. Yeah, we've definitely not got Steam overlay. But maybe we can trigger it in the build. Let's do the test build and see if it's in there. Did I just try that one? I can't remember. Try it again. Oh, no. Yeah, it's because it's the wrong build. I think what I'm going to have to do Well, Steam does detect that it's launched. Steam has the dev testers running. I mean, right, let's... As soon as I close Unity... let's see what happens if we run it this way. Yeah, see, this is a very different build. I think that's what the issue is. I think the dev test we have and the... Bear with me, somebody's messaging me. And how? Okay, let's mute my phone. It seems everyone's going to send me a message now. Right. Bear with me 2 minutes. Try and sort these people out. Um, right. Okay, so let's try then. If we run this from here, and then opening Unity, see what happens. Wonder if it's worth running a build, then doing games menu, add non-Steam game library. Let's see. No overlay. We can get the overlay here. Oh, okay, there's a way around it. So if I go to the game and then go back to Unity, I can see the debug logs. That's crazy. But it works. Okay, Steam overlay has been activated. Overlay changed. Overlay has been closed. Right. Still using the old menu for me. Yes. We don't care. We've got the detection now. So all I need to do now is find some way to pause the game. Um, I didn't want any kind of way to pause a race. Timescale to 0. Yeah, that's my first thought. Let's see. In the Steam Manager, doing this. Steam Overlay has been activated. So then we're going to say if You know what, we don't even need to do the if, we can just set the time scale. Time scale 0. Close it. We'll set it to 1. Let's just see what happens. I'm gonna have to race on this one. This has no keyboard controls. Okay. You can fly on this. Oh. That still appeared to work. Yep. Okay. Nope, we're gonna have to do a proper pause system. Where we lock everything. Let's just clear this. And okay, so we only get the debug logs when this is running. But I think it will stop. It should stop this one and not the other one. Okay, right. This is confusing. I think what we need to do is on this one, then go to the other one to trigger this. Yes. All the asteroids have stopped moving. I cannot fly my ship. Yeah, so when I did the previous test, I was flying in the other build, which doesn't have the code to pause. So I have to run the game in Unity, in the new version that does have the code, but go to the old version to trigger the overlay to pause it. But it does appear now that the game is paused. All the asteroids have stopped moving, I can't fly the ship. Now if we go to this one, we close this, go back to this one, everything is back to normal. Times 2. Yeah, that seems to be fine. Shield. The customer debugging will be confusing as heck. I don't think we need to debug anymore. I think it's done. I think that will solve the issue. Maybe having some UI pop up saying paused would be good. To polish that a bit more. But yeah, it does seem setting the time to 0. Go to here and open the overlay. Go back to here. All the asteroids have stopped moving. Moving again. Guess what would be a good check? Be not to do that. Wonder if I can exploit this in game. Steam events. Steam overlay events are local. Okay. How are you thinking to exploit? Explain that a bit more. So I can write a script that runs the pause unpause based on portal closeness. Now let me control my ship speed on never missing portals. I don't know, because when you're paused, you won't be able to move. So you're going to be able to get no closer to that portal than you would by going full turning and slowing down. Unless you can write a script to change the input values of your controller, thus making the multiplications higher than they should be, I can control how fast I approach without slowing. Yeah, I'm intrigued if that would work, but I don't think it will. Yeah, everything's using delta time. How much you move is based on delta time since the last frame. But yes, if you can manage to exploit it, then please let me know, because I will try to counteract that somehow if I can. Okay, so with the help of Morphasis, we appear to have the overlay issue sorted. I will have to do a new build, upload it to Steamworks, and then test it. I'm intrigued. Morphasis, do you have a controller that when you're playing a game allows you to open the Steam overlay? Because mine doesn't. Mine opens the Xbox bar, not the Steam overlay. Although the Xbox bar is also an issue, as it locks up control. If I was to build and run this now, I don't have that control. Okay. No problem. I kept saying I want more controllers. You run all your controls through a Switch Pro controller. Does the home button on the Switch Pro controller open up the Steam overlay? If you don't mind. That's a good point, actually. Actually, I don't think my PC has Bluetooth. Are the Switch Joy-Cons Bluetooth? I have to put a Bluetooth adapter in my PC, if so. But then I could grab my Switch Joy-Cons. Yeah, so when this opens the Xbox One, it still doesn't pause. When I open the Steam one, it does pause. Why is the Steam one working? Oh, because I've done build and run, it's still got the Steam link. There we go, there's a better way to test it. But yeah, my Xbox controller just brings that up. That takes a screenshot and that opens my dev panel. Yeah, I have no home button on my controller that will open it. Pro controller, not Joy-Con, or over USB. Ah, okay. Cool. Yeah, if you can let me know. You can rebind anything in controllers in Steam, by the way, so you can make it work through Steam. I wonder if that's what I was looking at earlier, about having a controller scheme on Steam, because I currently don't have one. I'm curious if that will work. Oh, look. How to remap Xbox, PlayStation, and other control buttons in Steam. You hook a controller to your PC. Yeah. Right. So let's build and run this, because then it's running in the correct. Any controller. Right, so this is running and it has Steam work. So then launch big picture mode. To access it, click the controller shaped big picture mode icon in the top right of the Steam window. Oh, is that from the Steam overlay maybe? That, looking at the image, that looks like it's Steam itself, which is not showing a controller icon. Ah, okay. It's a different icon for me. Yeah, so basically that ran big picture mode, full picture mode for the game that was highlighted. So I think what I'd have to do is have the latest build on and then try doing that. Can you come out of this now? Yes. I think I've broken. I think because it opened up the game that was selected. A lot of background noise. No, I've not got a fan running. Oh, hang on. some desktop audio. Where's that coming from? That's probably coming from here. There we go. That was the other version of the game that was running. There was two versions, so it was probably just making a lot of noise. Let me know if that's better. Sound is fixed, yeah. It's because multiple instances of the game were running, and it probably just sounded awful. They were all out of sync. Thank you for your help. Enjoy your lie down. You helped me solve the overlay issue. I'm going to tag this as needs more testing, but I think it's sorted. Look, tune in again and save the day once again. Tune in anytime you like. You're most welcome. Again, thank you again for your help. Next one is controller disconnection. Okay, that seemed to fix the issue. Yeah, I force closed Steam, and then it's gone back to normal. Yeah, because I had this one selected. Loaded this one, I assume. We won't try that now. Right. But yeah, controller disconnected. Which is a good thing, because I've been told that Nintendo are really on this one. So if I ever do a port, apparently the game on Nintendo Switch has to support disconnecting the Joy-Cons. If I can get it working here, and we've already got some code, we might just have to change it for extra detection if I ever decide to port. So I think in the input controller, there are events here for device lost. So what we could have is if we lose a controller in gameplay mode, you lose it on a menu, it's not too bad. The gameplay is the big one, because you want it to pause the gameplay and not continue. So, yeah, my controller is plugged in here. Handily I can reach. Yeah, let's go for the player controller. And we will create some function in here. Like, yeah, this is what we want. This controller disconnected. I don't think we need this input action callback. We'll see. We'll leave it there just in case. But what I'm thinking is if we lose a connection, then we set the time scale to this, and then reconnected is equal to 1. And then in the input system, if we go to endless mode, because this is where we're doing it first, I'm going to test this. We have device lost, and we can call the player controller. Okay, we don't have anything in here. So this one, I'm guessing this event can't have the player input callback. Get rid of this and this. Save it and see if that now shows up in my list. Events, a controller disconnected. Okay, wonderful. Let's go change the other one. Because this is basically when you press a button on the controller. Does the action straight away. And device regained. Controller reconnected. Okay, so let's go to the main menu. Go into endless mode. Choose a ship. And what happens when I disconnect my controller? Just pause. Okay, we need to polish this some more. When I reconnect the controller, game starts again. It's a bit... seemed a bit jumpy after the asteroid blast. Okay, so let's make this a little bit better. This is simply saying set the timescale. We want something to pop up saying controller disconnected. Oh, excuse me. And then maybe when we reconnect on the same UI panel, we have a button appear that says start playing again. If then it's not instantly straight back into flying. You actually connect it and then say, right, click the button, the problem's solved. But yeah, I don't remember them doing this many controller tests and things with maybe Wormhole Adventure, but maybe it's because I listed this one as controller support. They're doing more controller tests, which is really good because it lets me know what I need to do. So yeah, this seems to solve the instant issue. but I think we do need to make it more polished. Maybe I have to copy this to all the scenes. On the split screen, it'd also be nice if it only does it on the one, pauses the whole game, but only shows the controller disconnected for the one that disconnected. Let's try this then. So we're going to create an empty. We'll call this controller disconnected. And we'll have a UI image to start with. UI text mesh. The image, I want it to say black, but we'll set the transparency much lower so it just fades out basically. Oh, need to stretch the whole screen. 50. We don't want black. I still want you to see the stuff behind, but you know that something's gone wrong. Maybe like, yeah, 250. It really shows up. Okay, and then control disconnected. Can also scale like this. You will do this in the middle. We can work on the font later on. But for now, let's just get this working. So in the player controller, you're going to need to serialize field, game object, which is the controller disconnected. Then here, controller disconnected panel, set active to true. And this one, let's set this to false. I don't suppose it'll make any difference, but we should do it before we change the timescale. Cool, okay. And then in here, take this panel, main menu, run it. In this mode, choose a random ship. Unplug the USB. Controller disconnected. Everything appears to have paused. I mean, I'm going to need to test this a bit more and make sure the fuel's not going down or anything like that, but it doesn't appear to be. Everything seems to be using delta time, so reconnect the controller. And you can fly again. ×2. Oh, fuel capacity increased. So now we want a similar thing for the split screen. Because even if you're playing monthly mode, you're still playing in the endless scene. It's just all generated in a different way. Split screen, however, does have its own scene. In this one, we have 2 player controllers, each one with its own scene. Actually, if we go to the endless, go to the canvas, copy this, split screen, paste this as a child, paste this as a child. I turn this on now. Okay. We are skewed incorrectly. Yes. Okay, let's redo this. And this is player 1. You'd have this one. This is 2. You'd have this one. We then need to go. The Grumpy Game Dev, how are you doing? Welcome, welcome, and welcome, Raiders. You're all having a good day. Let me showcase my game. Because I'm between scenes, like Captain Coda. Happy Tuesday to you. This is Hex Racer. This is the playtest version, so it's a little bit different, but it'll give you the idea. So we are racing through checkpoints against time in this mode. The quicker you get there, the more points you get. You have monthly leaderboards, story mode, local split screen mode, and just an endless runner mode. So as long as you've still got fuel, keep going. Which is the same way the monthly one works. The split screen is timed. Do the monthly one. So every time we race this one, it will be the same track, same checkpoints. Today I'm just doing some issues that Steam have raised when I asked for an older build to be reviewed. So they had some issues with controllers, like when you open the Steam overlay it doesn't pause the game. If you have a controller disconnected, it doesn't pause the game. Just trying to work on that. What I was doing when the wonderful raid appeared. Yeah, over time the asteroids get bigger and the checkpoints get smaller. Very subtle, you don't notice it so much, but it does get much harder. As the checkpoints are getting smaller, They do seem like they're further away. Just because they're smaller and you have to travel a bit further to get to the dead center.
Fuel at 50%.
You check the full controller support checkbox. I did, yes. So I'm aiming for this to be Steam Deck, 100% Steam Deck compatible as well. I didn't tick full controller support for Wormhole Adventurer, which is probably why I didn't have the issues with that. Story mode is inactive. That is secrets for release. Yeah, I'm having to make sure that all my menus are controllable from the controller as well as the keyboard. Dealing with the disconnection issues and things. This one doesn't have the voiceovers. Whatsoever requirements for checking that box. Yep. But it's a good thing. Hopefully it'll attract more people. Knowing it is Steam Deck compatible, fully controller compatible, keyboard compatible. Hopefully I'll please all the people. Well, I say all the people. There'll still be somebody. Somebody will find some obscure thing. No doubt. But hey ho. Right. Player inputs. In here, device lost. Need to say if your controller was disconnected or your controller reconnected. Aim for this one because this is the other player. And this should solve the disconnection issue when we're in gameplay mode. Menu. Now, I don't have two controllers. Downside. I suppose I could go upstairs and see if my son's controller's around. Actually, do have a second controller. Its analog sticks are just a little bit dodgy. But I don't need to be able to fly. I just need to be able to unplug it, so it's fine. Okay, two controllers. Go split screen. Okay, so this, my decent controller, is player 1. And my crappy controller is player 2. We're now flying. So, player 2, disconnected. Get the controller disconnection. Game seemed to have paused for both people. Yep. Put that controller back in. Game will start playing. Wonderful. I'm going to try the other player. Perfect. Obviously displaying the UI and things can be more polished. But the fact that it works and it pauses the game, I'm happy with that. I can go down there. So what happens now if I run this with only one controller? Sure, we don't get an issue. You're on this one. You're on this one. Woohoo! This one flies. If this disconnects, it still pauses even though this one's on keyboard. Brilliant. Brilliant. I should probably not whack the arms of my chair into my desk. With all the cameras flying. Right. The only other one is story mode. Or any of the menus. So let's see. If you're on the main menu, go through all the scenes now and do the controller disconnected. So you can scroll through with this and you can use the keyboard. So if the controller disconnects at this point, it is absolutely not a concern. Because you can still use the keyboard. Maybe what we could do is have some pop-up that says controller disconnection detected. Doesn't stop the game because you've still got the keyboard. But it will flag that there was an issue. That could be something we could do. As for simple, do we need to pause? Then on this screen, no, we don't. On this screen, if we disconnect, and we need to change the UI to the keyboard controls. Yeah, if I unplug now, nothing would happen. We can still navigate, but the controls are wrong. It's not now telling me the keyboard controls to return to the movement. So this is the endless choose scene. So in the endless choose scene, where are we getting player input? Okay. So we're going to need some script available on this function that says if it disconnects, change these to say whatever the whatever the keyboard controls are. And then if it reconnects, change it to the controller ones. Yep. So, endless choose ship script. when we start, we do this. We say if we're on the keyboard, change the text to say this. And turn these buttons on. So what we simply want there's nothing in here. Okay. So we want a public void controller disconnected. If we disconnect the controller, then show the keyboard controls. If we reconnect, then I want you to say main menu erase, and I want these to be true. It's as simple as that. Just need to hook it up in the player input, events, device lost, controller disconnected, the controller reconnected. But this was the endless choose. Let's go and test that one out. So in here, we're currently showing controller controls. Now we show keyboard control. Back. Show the controller controls. Perfect. That is really good. It's like it doesn't change any real functionality to the game, but dealing with controller disconnects, it's going to be so much better. So split screen choose. Actually, this one, this is a little different because this one, I believe, shows both. Yes. If one of them is keyboard, this will show the keyboard controls. So what do we want to happen here? Well, if a controller disconnects and it's the only controller, then we need to tell the player that you need at least one controller. Okay.
One's coming by Hermes, though. Right, so
Okay.
it says Hermes rather Everett.
Do you know what time?
I think that was 8, the other one was 10, and the other one just says once yesterday, just saying running late.
Okay. I'll try to listen out for the door. Okay. Parcel's been delivered. Oh, excuse me. Right. So, as we were saying, if we only have one controller, like I currently have, and one of them disconnects, the controller disconnects, we need to say that you need at least one controller. And that we already have. Split screen choose, no controller. Split screen mode, you always need to have at least one controller connected. So I guess that's the first check then. Split screen. Let's see, what scripts have we got here? We've got split screen selection controller. I think this is the one we're going to want. Because this is going to need to do a check. So we're going to want public void controller disconnected. So what we're going to want to say now is thank you.
Let you move it.
Yep, I will. Love the fresh hot cup of tea delivery. I guess we want to do this check. If a controller disconnects, we want to pull all the player inputs and is this what we want to do? No, this is the wrong bit. Where's the bit that's checking for controllers? I've copied the wrong code. This code. So we'll do a check. And we'll say if there are no controllers, so this is if it finds a controller. Then we can say if no controllers is true, then we want to show the no controller. It's done by doing this. No controllers detected. Else, if we still have a controller and a keyboard, so this scenario is there was only one controller. We've unplugged it. So it's going to show the no controllers now. The other scenario was we had two controllers and we still have one. At this point, we want to show both controls. Because this would have only shown this. Okay, hang on. Another scenario. I can't test this scenario though. What happens if we had three controllers? We unplug one. We still have two controllers. Now we need to say, if there are no controllers, then do this. Else, I want to say, oops, missed a bit. Else, let's grab all the player inputs and let's see if anyone is playing on keyboard. If somebody's playing on keyboard, then we're going to do this. And the other scenario would be we have 3 controllers, in which case we do nothing. Because it should already be set up with the right UI. Okay. So in split screen choose, on this canvas, and we're going to have to go into both of these. If your device was lost, you are going to run this. All of this. Okay. What I probably want as well on the split screen choose. I'll just put this on here for now. Choose state input method. I.e. tell the player which player's on controller, which one's on keyboard, or which one's on which controller. Okay. So now we go split screen. We're on the choose screen. We're perfectly fine. We've got one controller, one keyboard. Unplug a controller. And that did not do what I wanted. Why did we not call this? We should have done... Oh, hang on. Yeah, you break the for each loop. You then call no controllers. You should have returned this. Oh, hang on. Hang on. Before we start this, we have to assume we have no controllers. And if it finds a controller, it will set its fault. Okay, that could have been the issue. Very specific scenarios here that we're having to test. Okay, lose a controller. Still didn't do what I wanted. Player 1 has no controller. Screen choose. Their input. Controller disconnected. Okay. You set this to true, you loop through all of these. Does this not update? Oh, hang on. Hang on. I know what's happened. No, hang on. So a controller. Let me get this right. You get all the player inputs. No, wrong bit of code. This one here. You'll get all the names. You still pull? Okay, right. Let's debug.log gamepad. What we're going to do as a comparison is also do it here. I can see what we get when we start with the controller connected. And then I can see what the difference is. Screen. Okay, controller, Xbox One for Windows. Remove the controller. Controller, Xbox One for Windows. Why? Surely if the controller is disconnected, then that shouldn't return that. That's just crazy. Okay, I've got another scenario. Let's do this way. Right. If you find so we'll do this the same way. We're going to assume there's no controllers. If you find gamepad, let's check what it was called. Gamepad. If you find a gamepad, then no controllers is equal to false. We found a controller. At this point, this should still work. And then get rid of this. I'm then going to do the check and say, is one of them still a keyboard? If so, show the keyboard controls. Right. Let's see if this scenario actually does what we're expecting. A good split screen. Everything's fine. Disconnect. Still doesn't show the window. Unless it's showing it and it's not. No, the no controller hasn't shown up. This is proving more challenging than I thought. So at this point then, I'm assuming we found debug.log. Gamepad found. I suspect this isn't changing. It's really infuriating. Yep. Okay. I need a refreshed list of these things. Right. Disconnected PI. So the disconnected PI got current control scheme. This needs to default to keyboard. And we can't access that. How do we... switch control scheme. To keyboard. Now does it do what I'm wanting? The problem will be is if we've got 3 controllers, but screen choose. Disconnect. Oh. Fine. I know why. In the split screen choose. And here we've got a broken reference. No, not in here. Here. Yeah, you're now missing, so this one. Oh, goodness me, this is more fiddly than I was anticipating. Okay. Pull the controller. Yes, finally. Put that back in.
These deliveries just come.
Okay, I didn't even hear the door.
I knew because the van turned up, that bright yellow one.
Oh, okay.
At the time, I went and asked him. He went, "No, this is only one." I realised what it was. It was like, "Oh, it's the light."
Yeah, okay.
On the kitchen table.
Okay, thank you. Right. So, let me do a test with 2 controllers. We've got weird one again. So we've got 2 controllers now. The screen. If I unplug one of them, it shouldn't show up. Change the controls. Now, you want this one. Ooh. Okay, there's an issue. It hasn't changed this one to the keyboard properly. Not controlling the second player. Why? Okay. Why did that not default to... Oops. That in there. Now I've got 2 controllers. Screen. Ah, you only gave me... Okay, we've got a dodgy connection. One of Oh, Unity seems to... Okay, that's working. It's not working. That's not working. It's working. That is working. Pull that one. Yeah, the other one isn't defaulting to keyboard. We tell it to change to the keyboard. Oh, hang on. Yeah, control scheme. I I wonder if the mapping changes it to keyboard, puts it on a default mapping for something else. Okay, maybe disconnect to pi dot switch current action map to be, what on earth should it be? Split screen choose. Split screen choose. Just in case it's defaulting to like the main menu. Right, I only have one controller. Second one. Second controller connected. Do the test. That's that one. That one. Nope. This second player is not taking on the keyboard control. Why? Control scheme is currently on keyboard. According to this, on the debug information, this is its default mode. Player 1, however, is saying it's on a gamepad. What? Oh yeah, player 1 will be. Yeah, player 1 should be on the gamepad. Player 2 should be on keyboard. Why are you not triggering keyboard events? This is irritating, to say the least. So make sure the disconnected PI is set to the right scheme, which is keyboard. And player screen choose. Yeah, it won't respond. So if controllers are plugged in, screen, if controllers are working. Unplug main controller. Sorry, the second controller. This one is still working. Second one is not. Even when I press the buttons, I'm not getting that debug log. Why on earth not? What have I missed? I think we just go for the simple solution here. Do away with all this fancy shenanigans of let's swap somebody. Let's just say if somebody was a controller and it got disconnected, we'll put up a red flag that says disconnected, like we did on the other scene. I think that will be so much better. Yeah. So in here, we are going to get rid of this altogether. Okay, that will create me some issues. And let's go into the split screen choose. Into player one. Into player two. Resize this front situation. Yep. Okay. And then in here we have split screen ship selection. This is this one. Public void. Controller disconnected. So this is the assumption that you had a controller connected and you've pulled the plug on it. So then, how were we dealing with this before? In the player controller, yeah, show the controller disconnected. You just don't need to change the timescale. Here we need serialized field, game object, which is this name here. Okay. This should be controller reconnected. I clearly just tried to make things too fancy and it wasn't. Want this. This. Here. Device lost. This one. Reconnected. And then just need to do player 2. And then it should all work. Oh, hang on. No. Do this one. Disconnected. Reconnect. Leave. Go to the main menu. Right. Two controllers plugged in. Confirm. Disconnect. And now toggle ready. And we cannot toggle ready on the other one until you reconnect your controller. Then you can toggle. Pull the plug now. This will freeze again. Wonderful. There we go. Right, next is that split screen done. We're done with the second controller now. If we are in the monthly mode, and in here, if we choose to race and we pull the plug, controller disconnected, reconnected, fly again. Train speeds. Ship repaired. ×2. Okay. So now this would be in the leaderboard scene. Taking so much longer than I was anticipating, but it's all good stuff. In the leaderboard scene, what scripts do we have? A controller dealing with the player input, and we have a leaderboard. So it's going to be on the leaderboard controller where we need to do the function. What we want to say is similar to endless choose. We're going to assume that if you disconnect the controller, it was your only controller. We're going to tell you the keyboard commands. I've just sort of an interesting test actually. If we were in an endless race, we pull the plug. And then we reconnect a different controller in a different port. Is that acceptable? No. Oh. It has to be the same controller. Interesting. Oh no. It has to just be in the same port. Okay. So I just went from my new controller to my old one. As long as I use the same port, it'll still work. Okay. So if you have a controller die, as long as you plug into the same USB, then it'll be fine. And when I plug this one back in, it should come back to life. Oh, interesting. I went back to my original joypad and it won't recover. Okay. We might have more issues here than we anticipated. I mean, how often do you have a controller disconnect? Probably because the batteries have died. Put new batteries in. The chances are you're not going to swap from one controller to another, that one die, and then swap to another one, all within the same race. I think that's maybe a bit far-fetched. Yeah, let's just do the monthly dues, and then I think we'll be sorted. Oh, it was leaderboard, wasn't it? In the leaderboard controller, we just need to do this. We disconnect and go to. Oh, we're going to assume if you disconnect, you're going to a keyboard. So then in leaderboards, controller, if a device is lost, I'm going to call this controller. Leaderboard controller disconnected. And reconnect. Save. Run. Monthly event. Currently showing the controller controls. We pull the plug. We are now showing the keyboard controls at the bottom, but not for the leaderboard switch. We need to do those as well. Plug the controller back in, and it defaults back. So have it do the leaderboard buttons as well. So in here, set these to P and L. Would be left button, right button. Your left and right shoulder buttons. Okay, right, let's go test that again, and we'll make sure as well that the keyboard actually works when we remove this control. Showing controller, we're showing keyboard, and we can switch. Okay. Plug the controller back in. Come on, Unity. It allowed the controller to work, but it didn't update the UI. That's odd, because it did previously. Monthly. Remove. Yep, we can use the keyboard. Reconnect the controller. Oh. So I'm guessing because I used... Right, okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm with it. So because the auto switch is on, as soon as I used the keyboard, it transferred it to the keyboard. So it didn't detect a controller reconnect. Because it was on keyboard. Interesting. If you're already on keyboard and you connect a controller, it won't change. Because it is listed. Yeah. The device lost and device regained. If we go into monthly, I connect the controller now. It doesn't update the UI. However, the controller does work. Disconnect it. Reconnect it, having done nothing else. Now it updates the UI because it's now a reconnect. Okay. So maybe, just to make this even more complex in the future, maybe what I need to do is a control changed event that says if you change to a controller, update the UI if need be. I mean, I still don't know why the other one wasn't working, but I can only assume because auto switch was turned on. Maybe that's the issue, but we needed auto switch on to solve some other issues. So. Yeah, the monthly one is now sorted. I think we're done now. Apart from any story mode stuff, which I'm not showing. So this one will change. If we're racing, it will block out. This one will change and it will block out because we tested it. This one, it will just say controller disconnected on whichever one. Then you need to reconnect your controller. And all should be funky. Yep. This one's on this one. I guess there's these ones as well. If you were to disconnect your controller while you're in this screen, we want it to show the keyboard controls instead. Yeah, that should all work. Need some music for this one. I need to talk to Thinks. Let him know exactly what we need soundtracks for. Okay. So I think I've got 3 screens left to do. Encyclopedia, achievements, and settings. So I need to go pick someone up in an hour's time, so I'm going to call the stream now. Thank you all for watching. Let's have a look. How many people do we have watching? Oh, we have a few of you. Let's go find someone to raid. Yes, indeed. Twitch, following, who is live? Who is live? The Captain Coder is live, and the Captain Coder came in to say hello as part of the raid. So I think we will go raid the Captain Coder. Why not? So, thank you all for watching. I hope you have enjoyed. And as always, here is the very simple raid message. And let me chuck some links in the chat because I always forget to do this. So there is Discord, and there is Hex Racer, and there is Wormhole Adventurer. I need to put some tags on those. But yeah, let's change the scene. Go to this one. So thank you all for watching. We're going to go raid. Come and say hello to the Captain Code, and I'll see you tomorrow. Now.